At Vibe Aesthetics and Wellness, we believe confidence isn't just how you look, it's how you feel. From subtle, natural aesthetics to personalized wellness care, everything we do is intentional. This is beauty with purpose. At Vibe Men's Health, we take that same approach. We focus on what matters most: strength, energy, and performance. Built on real data, real medicine, and real results, we're here to help you look better, feel stronger, and live fully. Come vibe with us today.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 9.
Well, good evening and welcome to Mississippi Live at 9. I'm meteorologist Caleb Edelblut, and we have some last-minute rumbles of thunder and storms trying to give one last push of quite a few kind of loud bangs out there in the sky, quite a few flashes of lightning as well. We're going to be covering those storms out there that are occurring in the Delta right now, but also what's rest for our overnight period and also what's left of the weekend in store as we get ready for that fateful Monday morning. Now, storms, they're giving that last push, and like I just hinted at, that is out in the Delta right now, so not widespread all across North Mississippi, but we're going to cover you guys. That way you know what's ongoing and when will it end. Beautiful start to our Sunday is in store, and this is another thing I want to emphasize. All these storms that we're talking about right now, they're not quite making it to that severe weather intensity, and we haven't seen that so far today. Hopefully we can see that continue with this last batch, but we're not anticipating this to be an all-night occurrence. So there's no reason to stay up late or stress or expect anything severe. That is not the case. We'll get you ready for the overnight period in store. And looking ahead towards the work week, the humidity, it only increases. I know we're going about our weekend and enjoying some dry spots and having to deal with the heat and just how humid it is outdoors. Well, enjoy it now because it will definitely increase, and we're going to talk about some dangerous heat making its way back to North Mississippi. Now, it will not take long, as you can see, to get some lightning here on our cameras because we are just talking about nonstop flashes of lightning with these thunderstorms that are out there in the Delta. This is a camera out there in Greenwood facing southeast, so not even these cluster of cells that you can see on the map there of just some heavier downpours. We're looking at one a little bit further out, but 75 degrees feels like 75, a little bit gusty as well. 18-mile-per-hour winds coming out of the southwest. That's going to continue fueling this moisture, allowing these storms to continue for the next few minutes, up to an hour or two. But drier conditions are in store, and as you can see, that lightning non-stop. And all of our cameras going to deal with this lightning. No matter where you look in the night sky, if you frame the camera right, you can see this lightning happening out there in the distance. I could stare at this all night long, and I shifted all the cameras that way we can see them all across North Mississippi. That way you can see the light show. But 73 degrees out there in Winona, feels like 72, even gustier winds going around 21 miles per hour out of the southeast, and that lightning just continues and continues to pick on up, showing that those storms are pretty healthy and mature. I mean, bright as could be. The camera's even struggling to get it all in one frame without freezing on up. So very bright flashes of lightning continue. Now here in Ackerman, this is a camera further away from the storms, as you can tell, but you can still see them out there in the distance. Always amazing to see how far you can see these storms and just kind of the power of them. Thankfully, we're not talking about anything too awful intense or anything strong, at least not reaching that severe criteria, and that's what we want. So 75 degrees feels like 73. Wind, very good out there, and it looked like we actually got a flash out there almost in the middle. Well, I guess it's kind of just starting to light on up. So we're going to hope and continue to keep those below severe. That is what we want heading into the overnight hours, and that's pretty much what we expect. Let's take a look at the next 12. We're dealing with these rain chances within the next hour or two, but they're going to become more and more minimal as we get ready for the overnight period. We're starting off in the upper 70s by 10 o'clock, cooling off towards the mid 70s, 74 degrees by 4 o'clock. And that's about as low as we're getting. Some of us will deal with some patchy areas of fog, especially for those that got that rainfall today. And with that wind starting to dial down 20 miles per hour, that's not going to allow any fog to occur. But if you can get those calm winds, those temperatures, those dew points to meet, well, we could see some fog as we're starting off our Sunday morning. And we'll start off pretty much in the mid 70s, work our way up towards the low 80s already by 10 o'clock. And that mostly sunny, brief period that we had kind of in the mid-morning hours starting to get tighter or that window starting to slowly close. So might be just a partly cloudy day all the way around, but at least we're not going to deal with those rain chances just quite as prominent as what they were today. Now, let me step out of the way here as we take a look at our Mama Justice Doppler radar. Most of the activity and all those lightning strikes that you saw are from these two clusters here, and I don't think it'll let me. It's not. I'll do this off screen, but total strikes are up to 266. And when I was piecing together the show around 30 minutes ago, those lightning strikes, I believe, were at 150 something. So we've gone up 100 strikes in the past 30 or so minutes, meaning these storms, they're very healthy right now. They continue to build on up. Now, we're not seeing anything severe at this moment. We're going to keep our eyes on that throughout the rest of the evening ahead. But we can see that that is where all our strikes are coming from. And you can see those white specks there. And this is why I want to go off screen just so you guys can see our lightning strikes going up to 266 now. Let me move this up and kind of zoom in on these. You can take a look at all these lightning strikes occurring with this storm. So still very, I guess, the right word, don't know if strong is misleading or not. It's a healthy thunderstorm as it continues to kind of build up its strength, maintain these heavy downpours. But thankfully, we're not quite talking about anything severe at this moment. We're going to keep our eyes on that, further break that down over at the desk. That way I can go through all of our products. But we're seeing some heavy downpours, constant rumbles, constant flashes of lightning, but just one final push with this setup we have today. Now, for your surface analysis, we don't really have any weather makers. Like I mentioned during the 6 o'clock, this is more kind of upper atmosphere dynamics occurring. We're not really talking about any frontal systems making their way down here in North Mississippi, even though I know we would love a cold front to make us feel slightly cooler here in North Mississippi. But we're dealing with these scattered showers all across our region. But the good thing is we're not dealing with cold fronts right now, and that's because it brings severe weather. I mean, take a look at all those severe thunderstorm warnings issued for Ohio, leaving Indiana, kind of making its way into Pennsylvania. We do not want to deal with any of that. So it's a give and take with some of these forecasts, but definitely enjoying the lack of severe weather, but we'd much rather enjoy some cooler temperatures as well. So let's take a look at Futurecast. Again, this is our latest one. We're going to have another fresh look by the 10 o'clock, so make sure to tune in throughout our broadcast in the next, let's look at the clock, around 53 minutes or so. As we take a look, it's doing decent, trying to give us some placement. It's not really showing anything happening out there in the southern portions. Delta looks like it's just shifted a little bit further south. But as we continue throughout the rest of the overnight period, it almost just takes a little bit longer for it to register. So I'm not expecting things to really occur all night long. In fact, this could just be running slightly behind, and we might already be dealing with those showers that it was showing at 1 o'clock. So we're not really dealing with anything strong or intense throughout the overnight period ahead, and we'll return to drier conditions pretty quickly. But even by 1 o'clock, we're already starting to see some stray showers affect us here as we go about our afternoon hours. But as far as how widespread could they be, like today, that's not really on the table. They'll be more isolated in nature. In fact, more miss than hit as we talk about those rain changes. Now, the next 24, we're going to talk about exactly that. It's a dry start to our Sunday morning, low 70s by 6 o'clock. Work our way up towards the upper 80s, low 90s, depending on where you are here in North Mississippi. Our best chance to see some thunderstorms is around 3 o'clock tomorrow, and 30% might be me overdoing it just slightly, but I would rather overdo it than underdo it. And to be honest, we saw quite a bit of rainfall and showers and storms today. So if we were to see that continue into tomorrow, it'll be around 30%, but I'm still expecting a little bit less tomorrow compared to what we had today. But we'll also dry up quicker, 20% coverage by 6 o'clock during that broadcast tomorrow, upper 70s by 9, returning back to those completely dry skies. Not going to deal with many showers or storms like we are at this time, and we're going to be getting ready for our Monday morning and a mostly dry start to the work week. But hey, those rain showers, they're still in the forecast, which means we're going to continue to break that down for you on what to expect for your work week coming on up, but give you a more in-depth look at what's ongoing right now, what's going to occur overnight, what is in store for our Sunday and the rest of the weekend. All of that's coming up in the next 60 seconds as Mississippi Live at 9 continues right after this break.
Some things just go together.
Like friends and good vibes.
The perfect ribeye with a Caribbean twist.
Shrimp tacos and a hint of lime.
Unwinding after work.
Dinner with the family.
Or date night with someone special.
Do you want it neat or on the rocks?
Mozzarella or pepper jack?
Whatever you choose.
Whoever you're with.
We'll be here.
Because we know
Together tastes better.
When C.K. Little opened his doors in downtown Corinth nearly 80 years ago, his plan was simple: deliver excellent service and exceed expectations. That's why we say a little gift goes a long way.
For years, it's been the same formula. If it bleeds, it leads. You deserve better. We are Mississippi Live. We're focused on the stories that matter to you, to your community, to your family, because local matters. We are Mississippi Live.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Caleb Edelblut.
There we go. Well, welcome back to Mississippi Live at 9. Let's take a look at those showers and storms that are affecting you guys out there in the southern portions of the Delta before we continue on with the broadcast, especially because we want to let you know in case anything is changing. And right off the bat, I'll start off with this. Those lightning strikes now around 283. So even by the time I probably finish discussing radar and get into the broadcast, we're going to be closer to hitting 300. So showing that fuel, that energy, it is definitely there for those storms. Very electric right now, but meeting that severe criteria, thankfully we haven't seen that. In fact, there was an SPS statement out there, kind of what we would see behind the scenes. There's your severe thunderstorm warnings, which we always will do live cut-ins for, let you know what's going on. But there are these special weather statements that are just a step below, meaning it's not reaching that severe criteria, but it could be in the next few minutes or kind of an hour. And there was one issued and it has since expired. So hoping to not see another one, which in fact I'll look behind the scenes to make sure we don't have one issued. And we don't. So still behaving, but wanting to keep my eyes on it regardless. We can zoom in on these really quick and kind of go throughout our threats. And to be honest, I'll tell you right off the bat, it's going to be just heavy, heavy rainfall and gusty winds. So let's take a look. Let's actually switch to our Jackson radar site, see if that can kind of give us a better visual. But still, I mean, you can see all those white streaks and just constant kind of flashes, those recent strikes, those continue to climb. We can take a look at our wind. Again, we're not dealing with anything tornadic by any means. In fact, not really picking up on too much from that radar site. But if we take a look at our threats, we could start to see some of those light pinks, purple starting to mix in. Again, green heavily outnumbering the purple, always a good sign, and that's what we're going to deal with, just heavy, heavy rainfall. The concern for flash flooding is also there for some flood-prone areas in this area where that rainfall is occurring. But you can kind of see that light purple a little bit darker just southeast of Kruger and northeast of Chula, showing that hail a little bit more probable, but meeting that severe criteria, meaning 1 inch in diameter or more, not occurring right now. We're not really seeing that confidence. And another thing I love pointing out for you guys, you can't see red anywhere here. That would indicate wind shear or anything tornadic. That is not the story tonight. There is no reason to stress. So if you guys love an early bedtime and are ready to kind of wind down for the night, go to bed after Mississippi Live at 9, feel free to do so. There's no reason to stay up. Just wanted to talk about this storm really quick. So we can even go towards our hail track and see if it's kind of dumped a little bit out. And I can't tell that if that's a road or kind of some darker purple. So it's looking like it tried to maybe dump a little bit out, maybe some pea to dime sized hail, but anything significant, I would be shocked, and definitely not really meeting that 1 inch in diameter criteria to classify it as severe. So if any of you guys did have those reports, make sure to send them in with the Mississippi Live Weather app. It will automatically go to the National Weather Service office up there in Memphis. We kind of know how these storms are performing based off of your reports, but make sure to do so in a safe manner. We don't want you going out there while it is ongoing. So real quick, we'll go back to precip, come back out, zoom out, see that, and let's just take it on a loop throughout the, let's just go kind of the past 30 minutes, see how this has progressed. Again, these are very slow moving storms today. They kind of just build up and almost sit on top of your city. So when it just starts dumping, it just kind of feels like it's there forever before finally moving on out. And those total strikes, they're almost up to 290. So it continues to climb. I want to keep my eyes on this, and I'm going to keep my phone on behind the scenes. Let me prop it up just in case a warning does go off throughout the broadcast. That way we can cover it. And oh, maybe we have some relief coming, 286. So maybe we're starting the downtrend with those lightning strikes, 285. That's what we like to see. So hopefully these storms continue to kind of start that downtrend. Not expecting too much into the rest of the evening. I'm expecting this is kind of the last push and we're not dealing with storms throughout the rest of your evening overnight period. So let's start off with your 7-day forecast to get ready for the rest of the weekend. We're dealing with 20% coverage tomorrow, temperatures in the low 90s, partly cloudy skies, so a little bit less coverage tomorrow compared to today. It's going to be a rinse and repeat Monday, just slightly warmer, much drier Tuesday, and then we're dealing with more widespread chances of rainfall with those thunderstorm chances on your Wednesday and hump day. That's going to be close to the hottest part of the work week coming on up, but still feeling brutal Thursday with that humidity continuing to increase. That Mississippi mugginess really going to take advantage of North Mississippi. But if we take a look towards Friday and Saturday, again, a give and a take. We're dealing with warmer temperatures, but you don't see any rain chances right now. And we typically always talk about rain chances on weekends and kind of dread them. So hopefully we'll continue to see that continue. We'd love a dry weekend here, but also means warmer conditions. Now, I also love showing off some Weather Watchers pictures. This is a double rainbow out there in Amory earlier on this evening. So another beautiful shot of what these storms could produce after they move on through. So beautiful shot out there sent in by Carrie out there in Amory, and another shot out here in Smithville, seeing that double rainbow. And a little fun fact, you usually see the colors, the red all the way to violet, but if you get a double rainbow, it's going to be very hard to see on this picture. I think this will be the best part to see kind of some of those colors. It's actually inverted. It's flipped because it reflects twice throughout the water droplet. So anytime you see a double rainbow, make sure to take a look at the colors next time, and you'll see that it's opposite from what a usual rainbow is, like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. It'll be purple, blue, yellow, green, orange, red. There we go. So a little opposite and a little fun fact for you guys. But let's come back to the weather portion of this broadcast. Current conditions right now here in Tupelo, we're staying dry. 79 degrees, feels like 82. Wind not really bothering us, very minimal, coming out of the southeast around 5 miles per hour. And that's because we are staying dry, not dealing with those rain chances. Now, this is something that I think Futurecast is kind of struggling on right now. I think it's taking account for these showers and storms 2 hours behind. It's almost like it's picking up on it by midnight. And I think we're going through that right now. So we're kind of getting through the last push of these showers. And again, not quite as widespread as it's projecting now, but we're going to continue to reach those drier conditions later on tonight, really reaching it by 1 o'clock, if not earlier. Maybe a few straggling sprinkle showers just kind of lingering here in North Mississippi, but not going to affect us. And we're pretty much going to have a dry and partly cloudy, if not mostly cloudy start, with a few of us dealing with some fog in the morning as well. Now, those low temperatures right around average for this time of year, low 70s all across our region. Red Bay coming in the coolest, I think, at 70, so almost upper 60s, but unfortunately not quite talking about that. It's going to be another just mild start to your day before that humidity really starts to jump up throughout the rest of your afternoon. So let's take a look at your Sunday. We're dealing with that partly cloudy and, more importantly, dry start to your Sunday. We're not dealing with any showers or storms as we get ready for our church commute and whatever the first half of your Sunday has in store. By 12 o'clock, we're still dealing with those partly cloudy skies. Maybe a chance for some sprinkles to get going a little bit early, but still dealing with dry skies by lunchtime. It's later on in the afternoon where we always have the best chance to see some of those showers and thunderstorms when the peak heating afternoon hours of the day occur. This is around 3:30. Starting to see some of these pop on up, but as you can tell, as far as the overall intensity and widespread coverage, not quite occurring tomorrow like it did today. So I'm expecting less coverage throughout your Sunday, but we can't take the rain chances off the table just quite yet. A few of us going to deal with some rumbles of thunder and some heavier downpours. And even by the 6 o'clock, we could be talking about a few out there pretty much just along the Mississippi River between Cleveland and Greenville for our Alabama counties out there closer towards Aliceville, for I believe that's Pickens County, and then Noxubee out there and just outside of Macon at 6. So still dealing with some of these showers and storms, but again, we're not dealing with anything strong to intense. Thankfully, we have not seen any of that today. I'm expecting that to continue into your Sunday tomorrow. Now, this is another thing that I always love to kind of emphasize. This is what we will all deal with, whether or not you get those rain chances or not. Upper 80s for the northern third of North Mississippi, low 90s everywhere else, and enjoy it because honestly, I believe this is our coolest part of the week coming on up. So it only gets warmer from here, but 93 out there in Belzona and Greenville, you guys getting closer towards the mid 90s already. Feels like values. We're starting to talk about triple digits, but not quite making it to 105 or greater just yet. So we're not dealing with heat advisories, definitely not dealing with extreme heat warnings, but that will become the focus point of the story coming up throughout the work week ahead. So make sure to stay updated with us. We'll let you know how hot it's going to get throughout your days ahead, which is in fact why you need to go walk the dog now while the pavement is still bearable for your pawed friends. Mid 70s by 7 o'clock, mid 80s by 12, upper 80s by 3. Dealing with some of those showers and rumbles of thunder tomorrow afternoon. So of course, time it out, make sure to check the radar before heading out for your afternoon plans. Keep that umbrella handy, but not quite dealing with it quite as widespread. Now strike kind of doing the similar thing. It's giving us quite a few chances on the northern portion of our viewing area along Highway 45 for Lee and making its way towards Monroe County. This is around 6 o'clock tomorrow. Some light showers elsewhere, kind of allowing us to see these rain chances. But again, with modeled projections, it's saying kind of somewhere within this green blob, we're expecting kind of some light showers to occur. A little bit more confidence when you see those darker colors start to pop on up with those heavier downpours, potential for some lightning and thunder. So we could still expect a few showers and storms tomorrow. But take a look at this. We're returning to dry conditions quicker tomorrow before what we're kind of experiencing right now, still dealing with those showers and storms. That's not the story as we're winding down for our Sunday tomorrow. In fact, it's going to be another dry start to our Monday morning around 8:30, enjoying honestly mostly sunny skies, very thin wispy cloud cover up there as we're getting ready for our morning work commute. Doesn't last forever. We're turning back to partly cloudy skies pretty quick as that cloud cover continues to build on up throughout the afternoon hours, meaning we're also going to deal with some showers as they continue to rise vertically, kind of that lesson I gave y'all during the 6 o'clock broadcast, just showing you guys how thunderstorms work. So this is around 12:30, still dealing with some of that coverage, and it continues all throughout the rest of the afternoon hours and even towards the evening, but thankfully, we're returning back to those dry conditions pretty early as well. So even by 7 o'clock, we're turning back to mostly dry skies, and now we'll continue throughout the rest of the overnight period as we get ready for our Tuesday morning hours coming up pretty soon. But those high temperatures, this is another thing. We're warming up pretty quickly. We were talking about upper 80s, not the story for the northern third of our viewing area anymore. In fact, we're talking about more low to mid 90s across our region. 96 in Greenville, 95 out there in Belzona. Feels like values. We're starting to push 105 or greater. 108 in Clarksdale, 106 Tunica, 105 in Cleveland, 106 again in Greenville and Belzona. This is where heat advisories could start to come into play as early as Monday. I'm thinking the cloud cover rain chances should help us for our Sunday, but we could start to see those go into effect for our Monday, and they're going to start to stick around throughout the rest of the work week and honestly spread across North Mississippi as that mugginess, that humidity continues to build. Now, that 7-day forecast, again, we're dealing with those rain changes on your Sunday and Monday. I think Tuesday's a little bit drier compared to the two. We're dealing with those partly cloudy skies still, working our way up towards the mid 90s. Wednesday, our best chance to see some more showers and storms make their way back into the forecast, trying to keep us at bay in the low 90s throughout the rest of the work week. But we're dealing with the drier and definitely a toastier Saturday coming on up. So we'll make sure to keep you updated all throughout the work week ahead. Now, before we wrap this up, because we have nothing but time, I just wanted to take one last look at radar to make sure everything's still kind of well behaving. We're down to 280 strikes right now. Oh, 281, of course, had to jinx it right there. So these storms kind of giving one last final push with kind of just giving some heavy rainfall. I mean, if you take a look at North Mississippi as a whole, these mostly dry skies, they have returned. And I'm expecting once these kind of move on out of the area, we're not talking about too much more throughout the rest of our evening. In fact, we can go take a look at our cameras again. Let's start off with the Winona one. Let's just see if those flashes of lightning are still pretty constant, because they were at the start. And actually, it looks like our reporting station just went down out there. So let's see, I think it just came into frame. Are we facing the right way? We're not seeing them as constant anymore. Oh, there we go. I'm actually going to be covering them up. So not quite as constant of a light show as what we saw towards the top of the broadcast. So we're already starting to see that downtrend occur. And in fact, some of those flashes are probably just off screen, but kind of right in this area where we're dealing with them. I know Greenwood had a great visual on those lightning strikes and just flashes out there in the distance earlier. Looks like that reporting station just went down. So lightning still can cause some issues, especially with power outages, knocking out some power across North Mississippi. But it looks like the light show, this one's facing southeast, so that's where the storms would be, is starting to kind of downtrend. So that is a good thing. It's taking a while for me to kind of keep the camera on and for us to see that. So thankfully, we're not really seeing it quite as constant as what we did at the top of the show, meaning those storms, they're starting their decay. They're not quite as strong as what they were, and that's exactly what we want to see heading into the rest of the overnight period. So I'm going to keep my eyes on it between the 9 and the 10 o'clock, but make sure to tune in as I'll continue to break down those storms, what's left of them before heading into the overnight period, and keep you guys updated. Download the Mississippi Live Weather app. It'll let you know every time we go live within our broadcast schedule, but also anytime we have to do live cut-ins. If any storms started to misbehave, if we see anything severe, any warnings get issued, we will make sure we are the first to let you know what is ongoing, give you the most updated, accurate, and best information out there in North Mississippi to keep you guys safe and informed. Now with that, we'll be live later on tonight at 10 to give you the latest information. We'll have another look at model runs giving us those rain chances all throughout the overnight period ahead, which honestly, lack of rain chances, and what it looks like throughout your Sunday and even into your Monday, and what the rest of the work week has in store. But until then, y'all continue to enjoy what's left of y'all Saturday. No reason to stay up late tonight. We are not expecting any severe weather, anything intense or widespread across North Mississippi. So y'all get a good night's rest. Enjoy y'all Sunday tomorrow. And thanks as always for supporting us here at Mississippi Live.
Dust off your favorite shotgun and sign up for the Natchez Trace Council Clay Classic. Call 662-842-2871 or visit natcheztracecouncil.org.